Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes, facts,
Boots!
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, NFL Superpro.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I am Zach, joined by the, let's say, dasher to my brick wall.
Dasher
Mr.
to brick
Mike.
wall.
Yeah.
You're going to have to explain that.
Well, I will. I figured it's, we're a little late, but it's like post-Thanksgiving, but still pre-Christmas in a way.
Sure.
And what is something that happens on both of these holidays that I feel like a lot of people take time away from spending it with their family to go enjoy instead? And no, it's not shopping. It's football.
Football.
So I just called us two characters from an ill-fated book that Marvel made back in the, I think it was like 86 to 87, called Kickers Inc.
Kickers Inc.
It was like,
What?
it was football players
Yeah.
who became crime fighters.
Were they all kickers?
I don't remember if they were all kickers. I'm
Because-
pretty sure they weren't.
Because if there's one thing that football fans love the most,
It's kickers.
It's kickers.
No, but they called it Kicker Inc. The thing,
I think you could get football fans to get on the side of like long snappers before you could kickers.
yeah, they're like, it's a team of long snappers versus a team of, well, we don't believe a team of kickers could do anything, which is terrible
No, it is rough.
because those kickers come through clutch or not so clutch.
Well, I will tell you, and now this has nothing to do with what you're going to talk about,
Yeah, no.
but NFL thing, the thing I've noticed the most this year in the NFL season, what happened to extra points? Why
Yeah.
can't anybody make one?
Well, it's because they moved it like, 15
okay,
yards
come
back.
on. Whatever.
Well, that was their goal.
It's your only job.
Remember, that was their goal, though, when they wanted to move them back. They're like, oh, we want
Yeah.
people to miss more extra points.
Yeah.
Well, they got what they wanted.
Yeah.
But
we
now,
want more points, but not from kickers.
See, and this is going to sound mean because I don't want it to get, I figured you would just do it like blitz. You could give them the extra
Yeah.
point afterwards.
Yeah.
And if they want to go for two, they go for two.
Sure.
And that doesn't take the kicker out of it because he still needs to come in and kick like, the longer field goals, obviously.
I guess. I don't know. I would not be real upset if we just took kicking out of the game entirely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. They were a star. It wasn't Kickers Inc. They were part of like a fictional NFL
Okay.
league in a way, or pro league.
Yeah.
The Jack Magnicotti was a star football player for the New York Smashers.
I love a good Magna Cotti with like some pink sauce.
Whose brother Steve invented a machine that can increase muscle mass.
Okay.
That's just the tidbit. But the
It's
reason I
just
bring
called
it,
free weights. Is what it
exactly.
is.
His brother Steve invented weightlifting. So
Okay. Good job, Steve.
no, I bring up Kickers Inc. to show you that was Marvel's first foray
Yeah.
into a football comic,
They love the crossovers.
and nobody liked it. So the thought process
odd.
is, let's do it again.
Sure. But we'll do it better this time.
Yeah, and that brings us to today's hero, who actually has full-on NFL licensing,
Oh, man.
and his name is NFL Superpro.
Sure.
His
His God-given Christian name. NFL Superpro.
Superpro.
Yeah.
No, his real name is Phil Grayfield.
Phil Grayfield.
And
All right.
it's so funny because for a super pro, he doesn't have that great of a career. We'll get into
Okay.
not that great, just things happen. But Mike, before I just want to set the scene for Super Pro before we get into it, because this is a book
Right.
that ended up running a whole year, 1991 to 1992.
Wow.
We are going to focus mainly on the special edition issue number 1, not to be confused with the regular issue number 1,
Okay.
and then issue number 1. We're going to get you started. I'm going to help you sink your teeth in, and then if this is something you want to go down, you can go down. But I wasn't I wasn't going to waste, my Thanksgiving weekend ripping my hair out because of NFL Super Pro.
Yeah.
So 1991 to 1992. Do you remember anything about those football seasons?
91, 92. Okay, so Bears 85.
Yeah.
Have no idea what happened.
I'm pretty sure it's
Dallas.
91 maybe. I'm pretty sure, just given off the timeline, that the Bills went and lost.
Right. Sure.
I can't remember. That might be that Giants one.
Could be
Jeff Hostetler. Either way.
Yeah.
I would like to. Yeah. Just think back to 1991. A team that's been around for a long time. I mean, hell, they even won Super Bowl III, the New York Jets. Right? 1991. I think they were coming off 6-10.
This is who the guy plays for?
No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just trying to set.
Okay, setting the scene. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I get ahead of myself.
The Jets were 6-10 the year before, so 1991 was going to be a year they were going to turn around. And,
sure.
Finally do that. Their fans were looking forward to it.
Jets.
I think I looked at their 3 starting quarterbacks and I couldn't remember any of them. I think their quarterback was Browning Nagel, if anybody remembers that. Yeah. So
I just
Jets
had one
team,
little synapses fire. That was it. That's all I remember.
I remember kind of the name.
Yeah. How do you not remember Browning Nagel? I mean, that's a great name.
It is, but he did not turn out to be a great quarterback.
Sure.
Well, it was the Jets. A lot with this Jets team. I just want to present. Here we are, just to kind of like a real life NFL counterpart to this while we're doing it.
Okay.
We'll focus on this Jets team, and we'll come back to why here in a second. So NFL Superpro. I guess Marvel decided, hey, you know what was really missing from that football book we did back in the late 80s? The NFL being a part of it.
True.
So what they do is they release like a larger, I think it's like 46 pages.
Super issue
special edition.
Right.
That comes out in, I believe, March of 1991. Now, this book, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, the basic creative team for this book, it was written by Fabian, and I'm going to mispronounce his last name. I'm just saying that right now, and I apologize. Nikiza. It's Nicieza.
Okay.
So
Nikiza or
Fabian
Nikiza or whatever. Yeah, sure.
He was the writer for this.
Browning Nagel.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jose Delbo was the artist.
Okay.
So giving them it's
little known fact,
looking.
they were also NFL employees.
Yeah. They just found them.
Like, I've always wanted to do a comic book.
Well, it's so funny because there's, I guess it started as an urban legend, but it has been clarified by Fabian himself. And I'll go ahead and just tell this right off, rip the Band-Aid off before we get into it. I bring up the 1991 Jets to let you know that season did not work out for them, and they only went 8-8.
Oh.
Not a good team.
Right.
Fabian wrote this comic for Jets tickets.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The NFL gave him Jets tickets because he was a Jets fan to write this comic.
How wonderful.
And it is not good.
Yeah, no.
Come on. Fabian has said himself that it's not the best work at all.
NFL Superpro is not good.
And even still to this day, he gets slack from it from people.
Yeah.
So I have set you up that this comic was written basically for a 1991 Jets tickets, that Browning Nagel led 8-8 team.
I hope it was a box.
You would hope so.
Yeah.
But this comic, not that great. Let's go ahead and dive right into it.
Alrighty.
So 1991, they present this special issue, and they already have it's so weird to already have a special edition issue when this is the first issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've always found the thought of that just strange, of how are you going to be able to tell, oh, this is the thing that's gonna. So we're introduced basically to Phil Grayfield.
Okay.
I'm not going to go in the order of this book because it's just a little complicated, but we'll at least explain.
It's complicated.
It makes no sense.
I play football. I'm super.
The first issue, we find out that, this guy dresses up as NFL Superpro. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's kind of like a fiberglass suit in a way.
Okay.
And it also has a helmet with a shield, like a hockey mask shield.
Yeah.
And it covers the nose. And the NFL logo.
No face mask, huh?
No face mask.
Huh.
And the NFL logo is just so prominent.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right in the center.
Yeah.
I'm pulling this up so I can show you. And honestly, when we talk about the next issue, funny enough, we will talk about another Marvel character in here because there are 2 different crossovers that NFL Super Pro has.
I mean, wouldn't just putting a helmet on him be easier?
Well, and here's the thing too, is it doesn't like, you can tell exactly who he is.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like, oh, I think that could be that guy. Like, you can basically tell through the, here we go. This is the issue for the special edition that we're about to.
Oh my goodness!
And in the special edition, for some reason, he's floating out in space.
So he does.
He never plays in space.
He does have almost a face mask, but he's got the giant NFL logo all over him.
Because that was great.
He's got kind of a Captain America-esque suit. Big shoulder pads. Oof. Yeah. No, you can look at this and go, this is going to suck.
Yeah. No, you can definitely tell right from the picture. And you know what? You would have been right. But
a new star is shining in the Marvel Universe.
Spoiler alert, it's not this comic.
From football hero to superhero.
Well, that's the thing.
Boy, oh boy.
He's not a football hero, really.
Really?
No. For somebody named Superpro, he is...
Average pro.
Yeah. So, like, the book starts off where he's obviously trying to hunt down... like, he's trying to stop this steroid ring in a way.
Okay, that
like
makes
he's
sense.
hunting somebody down.
Sure.
Of course, the things that he's dealing with in this
steroids bad.
Yeah, steroids bad. Need to stop steroids. So like he's hunting down and trying
not
to figure out.
Not the worst crime in the world.
No, it's not. But obviously fitting for a NFL superhero.
Yeah.
Because if anything, the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, is above reproach. And they try their hardest to make sure to always make the right decision.
Yes.
And to always do what is right.
Their players, coaches, and owners
are just above and beyond the greatest people that you will know. And they, you know, it's a shame that we don't have NFL Super Pro in real life, but we don't really need it.
Idols.
Because
they are true idols.
And they're so great at self-policing.
They are very good at that. Yeah. If we as a world could only do what the NFL does, we'd be in good shape.
So I just wanted to say that before we dove into this so people didn't think that there were actually problems with the NFL.
No problems with the NFL. No problems with wives in elevators. No problems with waistbands of your sweats.
Yeah.
Nothing like
shooting
that.
yourself. Yeah.
Nope.
No problem with, you know, maybe you're feeling a little banged up and you want to go get a massage and then you force yourself onto the unsuspecting workers. None of that because
God, that's just the regular world you're talking about.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about the NFL
out here.
world.
Yeah.
So he's breaking down this
God bless the
steroids
NFL.
ring.
Yeah.
His partner.
Are they? Let me ask a really early question here.
Go ahead.
Are there Russians?
No.
Oh, damn it!
But the bad guys are all Italian.
Oh, okay. Because they probably love soccer.
Well, no,
that's probably what
that
it is.
Come up, but it's obviously I'm
like
trying
football.
To think.
No, football.
I'm getting confused. That's the regular issue number 1, but the bad guy is Italian. He's like a mob boss.
Sure.
So of course.
Oh, okay.
Well, the mob in the NFL.
Well, at that point, betting was probably still illegal.
That's not what they went after, though. I mean, they kind of did, but when I explained that one, that was weird.
Yeah.
So
it's all those steroids.
It is all those steroids. Phil Grayfield, aka NFL Super Pro, is also helped by his cameraman Ken. But Ken deduces.
His cameraman.
Ken deduces. Well, they're trying to hunt down where, like, because they basically know that they're hunting down the steroids ring. And one of the rookies on the Chicago Bears team, it's obvious that he's taking them. Because he tackles
23 feet tall.
Yeah, he is a lot bigger, but he tackles one of his teammates during practice, and he's like trying to shove his face into the ground. And he's like, eat the carpet. Which is a super weird thing.
That's great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that happens at all NFL practices. Somebody yells at someone to eat carpet.
Sure.
Oh, man. But so he obviously has anger issues. They see one of
the... Could they just check their testicles before the games or something? I mean, wouldn't that do it?
It's 1991, Mike. We weren't there science-wise.
I'm sorry. Sure.
We hadn't invented the cool little thing that measures.
My cup fits so well these days.
But here's the best.
I
so Ken, his cameraman, kind of helps him like with finding information about who could be supplying the steroids and stuff.
Right.
While Ken leaves, though, it's brought up pretty early on that Ken notices that it's always weird that NFL Superpro shows up in the same cities that they're at. So Ken, from the beginning, Ken's a smart guy. I will give him this. Because then also...
we can also see through his mask.
Phil that would be one thing. But Phil leaves to go fight crime or whatever, comes back, and Ken's like, hey, I ran some of the analysis, and it's like, your movements and stuff match up pretty well with Superpro. So,
sure. Especially when I saw you putting that suit on.
Well, he's like, so tell me what happens. And with a lot of like the large 46-page issue comics, it's broken up into like chapters.
Right.
So that's
because originally it was probably like 4 issues or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That.
I think they released this all together as one, but maybe in their minds they thought
said,
it was.
Boy, what a steaming pile of garbage! Let's put this all together and make one issue.
So we get chapter 2, which is basically the origin of NFL Superpro.
All right.
Now,
I'm crossing my fingers, hoping he got hit in the head by a ball, kind of like a mule kick or something.
A mule kick. Have you seen? I don't know why it reminded me of that, but poor. So like obviously there's things that, and you might already know this, the NFL, that movie extras. Sometimes things happen and they end up leaving it in without. Like the stormtrooper hitting his head. And,
right.
In The Last Samurai, I think that's the name of the movie. The Tom Cruise movie. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a part where they're preparing for battle and Tom Cruise pulls up on his horse and he hops off. And all the extras are standing there like they're getting ready for battle. And the horse sidekicks one of the extras. And it knocks him back a bit. But the extra just kind of steps up and still stands there. And it sells it the whole time that nothing happened to him. And if you're able to find that, it's pretty funny. But so when you said mule kick, it made me think of that. But
all I can think of is the Don Knotts movie where the mule would kick the field goals.
I completely forgot about that until right now.
You remember that?
But the fact that I've seen that. See, Mike, this is why we do this show together. Oh, man. I used to watch all of the Don Knotts Disney movies on.
Oh, yeah. Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yes.
Sure.
Isn't that Tim Conway with him on that one?
Yeah.
On the two of them together. It's
a mighty duo.
The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. Wasn't there one where he turned into a fish?
Incredible Mr. Limpet.
Yeah. See, I've seen all. I've seen more Don Knotts solo projects than I have of actual him as Barney Fife and Mayberry.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's just amazing that he was a movie star.
That's true.
Let's take this shaky, paranoid man and make him a movie star.
Like, I love him, and I find him hilarious.
Yeah, no, he was great.
But it's the same thing.
He is dead, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It would be the same thing as them, though. Like, I'm trying to think of somebody, and maybe this isn't fair enough, but I love Steve Zahn.
Sure.
As an actor, and I think he's a great comedic actor.
Watched a movie with him in it last night.
And was it the 8-Bit Christmas one?
Yeah.
Not that good.
My wife looks at me after. Okay, this is a condemnation on my wife.
Okay.
She looks at me and goes, well, "I didn't know that was a Christmas movie. It says 8-Bit Christmas. What?
That's funny." Well,
I think, so she knows my hatred for like typical Christmas movies, right? Or holiday movies. And so she was like, "Yeah, I want to watch that." And I watched the preview, and it's all about Nintendo. And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll watch it."
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for it.
Yeah. And so we watch it, and then I turn to her about halfway through and just give her the look. And she's like, "What? I didn't know it was a Christmas movie." I'm like, "Yeah, you're full of crap."
It said Christmas in it.
It says 8-Bit Christmas. It's not bad if you put everything aside and just go, "Nah, this is filler." I mean, it's not bad. Steve Zahn's funny in it.
Yeah, and
the kid is great.
I think that's the whole point I was going to make. There was like, nobody has been like, "Hey, let's make Steve Zahn a main movie actor."
No, he's always the sidekick.
And I think now that's what Don Knotts would be, is he would never get that.
Oh, yeah. Tim Conway, same thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, which stinks because, oh my goodness. Conway, you don't like Conway?
Oh, no, I love Tim Conway. But what I'm saying is, I don't think either one of them were destined to be leads. Ever.
No. But I mean, I think that they were solid enough to be able to.
Oh, they were super funny.
Oh man, there's an old Carol Burnett one, The Dentist.
Is that with Mr. Havigans, where he walks real slow and he's an old man or whatever?
No, that's not that one. That's the one where he's the dentist's son, and he's just come back from school, and this is the first time he's done and he like injects himself.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And so his hands,
his hand and his leg and everything go numb.
I die laughing every time I watch that because it's him and who's the other guy? I can never remember
Harvey Korman.
Yes, it's him and Harvey Korman. And Harvey's just losing it the entire
Harvey
time.
Korman, one of the greatest straight men ever alive.
And I love him in
Blazing Saddles.
He's Hedy Lamarr, right? And Blazing Saddles.
He is the greatest thing that's ever been invented.
I love that.
Yeah.
Even though he keeps hitting his head on
Rockridge.
Man. All right. So
Sorry.
No, you're
NFL
fine.
Superpro.
NFL Superpro. So let's talk about Phil and how he got his powers because it's stupid.
Sure.
But Marvel was on a kick at this time, I think, of making things, at least when they did the Kickers Inc. Yeah. That was under an imprint called The New Universe, which was supposed to be grounded more in reality.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know if they thought that they needed to do that here too, but it's still a little bit of a reach.
Janitors Inc.
So Phil is a football player. Like he's, just an all-star all throughout college.
Mm-hmm.
He gets drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Though.
Does it say what college you went to?
I don't remember if it did.
Lower Middle Mississippi State.
Spider Tech. Daredevil University. I feel like in Marvel they just name the colleges after them.
Stanley U.
Yeah. So he goes and he's just, such a smart. We have basically a repeat of U.S. Archer.
By the way, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you one more time.
No, you're fine.
Have you watched the new Hawkeye?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Episode 1.
Yeah.
There's one of the greatest things I think has ever been done. And it's Rogers the musical.
I've read about this.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Good job, Marvel. This is your really stupid side. You if you're a kid growing up reading these Marvel comic books, you run into this stupid stuff every once in a while, right? This is their chance to do it. But if it were a real world full of superheroes and all this stuff had happened, totally would have been a musical like that. It abso-friggin-lutely.
Yeah, no, that's
such a great thing.
That's kind of why I've always liked The Watchmen in a sense, is because Alan Moore made it where like the rest of their world kind of dealt, and I think it's part of the same reason why I love The Boys as much as I do. The Boys
is the same way. Yep.
Yep. No, it's on my list to start watching.
Anyway, I just you were talking about real world and all that stuff, and special Marvel crap. I don't know why that came up, but sure, go ahead.
So Phil is drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, because we do have NFL licensing, so we get real teams.
Mm-hmm. Good start, in the 90s. Yeah, I mean the Eagles were getting there.
Yeah. But he just has injury after injury in the NFL.
Sure.
And the one that caps it off is he has a friend. I can't remember the friend's first name. I'm pretty sure his last name's like Murtaugh or something like that.
Okay.
And Murtaugh's son, it's like after practice or something, he's talking to Murtaugh. Murtaugh's son like basically falls out of the bleachers.
Oh. And
Phil goes to dive to save him.
Yeah.
And busts up both knees. And that's what's the last thing of his playing career.
Poor Phil.
Is that, so he can't play anymore because he saved his friend's silly kid from falling out of the bleachers.
Do you think more people fall out of stands than are reported each year?
Yeah.
They have to, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you go to a game, and I'm talking NFL, NBA, MLB, any of that.
Oh, somebody falls at least once.
They pack them in so heavily, and everything is so slanted.
Yeah.
There's no way some old lady's not falling out of that thing once a week.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like, nothing happens.
Sure. Obviously. No. I don't want them to get seriously hurt.
But no, I feel like,
just
there's a lot
hurt.
of people. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where they get up, everything's fine, but we've already laughed our asses off. Yeah.
Right.
No, for sure. But Phil's there in hospital, and Murtaugh's kind of like, hey, I'm sorry you can't play anymore, but I think I've got something for you.
It's just like instant.
Yeah, basically.
You can't play anymore.
Well, here's the thing. It's he's like, I have a way for you to, again, when I say U.S. Archer, I have a way for you to use that journalism and criminal science degree of yours. You can become a field reporter.
All right.
So he is a sports reporter now for the NFL.
Wait, what 2 degrees?
Criminal justice. I think I said criminal science, but criminal justice and journalism.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember, it's like U.S. Archer where he had like 17 degrees, whatever he needs.
This is going to end up being about a tenure in the tenure in the NFL.
I didn't get to it, but I'm pretty sure that's where it was headed.
I'm the senior referee.
So, one of the stories he has is like going and visiting this memorabilia collector.
Okay.
And this guy has tons of stuff.
Sure. Tons of NFL stuff.
Tons of NFL stuff. Well, he goes into this room and you saw the suit that we had fill in. The collector tells him, I was also a chemist, and I played around for the longest of making the NFL suit for the future. I thought that it would, help people perform at their best abilities, but it just cost $5 million to make each suit and had to be personally molded to that player.
Sure.
So the NFL kind of said, we can't do that. We can't pay, there's 53 players per team, and it's $5 million per player for 30 teams.
What if we dipped into the paternity fund? Oh, no. We don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
So
it's barely enough there as is.
But so they decided, or I guess the NFL decided to go against it. So he just had the prototype there.
His $5 million prototype.
Yeah, he just wanted to show it off.
Personally fitted to no one.
Exactly. Since I guess Phil was like, oh man, this is really cool. And he's like, hey, I'm going to show Phil what I got here.
Sure.
In the process of all this, though, 4 or 5 thugs decide to break in, and they're going to rob all the memorabilia.
Yeah.
They are loaded with like automatic, semi-automatic weapons. Like they're loaded to the nines. Not wearing a mask though.
Right.
Which always goes to make you think that they're just going in to scoop and,
Criminals is dumb.
Yeah. Well, everybody's about to die over some NFL memorabilia.
Sure. Yeah.
Basically, the criminals find like
I got the fridge's retainer.
They find like some canisters of film.
Yeah.
So basically, they take old film that would be cool to watch, you would think now, and they use it to tie up Phil and the old man.
Sure.
And then they set the place on fire. Well,
okay.
With the memorabilia, dude, it's so stupid. With the memorabilia burning.
Thank God film doesn't burn.
And like just the chemicals from the memorabilia mixed with
memorabilia chemicals.
He gets superpowers from this.
Okay.
And the superpowers are just super strength, super speed. It's easy stuff.
All right.
But basically, if you want your kid to be an NFL player, if you have any autographed cards, baseballs, anything like that, I would suggest setting it up around them and burning it and seeing maybe if the fumes from the burning basically give your kid superpowers.
Sure.
Because that's how it worked for Phil here.
Yeah.
So he hunts them down. He finds them. He steals the suit to hunt them down into.
Okay.
And that's the birth of NFL Superpro.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
That is a story worth telling twice.
It's not that great. To close out, though, they go in and I'm telling you, this is bad. It is considered to be one of the worst comics of all time. I don't think it's that bad. Like, I've read a lot of bad things. It's just not good, though. Like,
is it as bad as, was it U.S. Archer that was the race car driver?
He was the truck driver.
Right, truck driver. Yeah. Is it as bad as that?
There's some stuff, some of the wording in it. There's one where, I'll just close out this one so I get to the next part. Sure, there's a part where I'm like, no, you're fine. Basically, they're able to find somebody with. It's funny you bring up tenure. Somebody at the local college who's a chemist is making like super steroids and gives it to the rookie.
Yeah.
The chemist basically just admits to everything he's doing.
Yeah.
So he gets, in trouble for that and taken to jail. The rookie now has, instead of regular steroids, new stuff, which he takes, which turns him into like a Hulk creature. He just gets really big and like swells up. And they fight a little bit. And through the process of everything, though, the rookie has a heart attack because of the stuff he's on. No. And he dies from a heart attack.
Oh, my goodness.
NFL Superpro does not defeat his first villain. A heart attack takes him out. And they go back and tell the guys. And the guys are like, wow, this is some serious stuff. And they go and they throw away their steroids.
I'm going to get us some shirts made that say, it was about tenure all along.
Oh, man. So that's his first issue right there. Wow. Is basically
Well, he defeated steroids.
Well, no, a heart attack killed a guy, and then that untimely death made the players think,
technicalities.
No, you take him out of here, and the same ending can happen.
Sure.
I'll just dive into.
Just nobody. It's always about education. Nobody had told these guys it's dangerous.
No. Oh man. So it takes us to the next one. The first actual issue is he's trying to find their snipers after this guy who's about to turn state's evidence. And the reason Superpro is so interested in this criminal turning state's evidence is because there's apparently a offensive lineman for the Los Angeles Raiders who's been accused.
That's right. You heard it. Los Angeles Raiders. Who's been accused of being part of a betting ring when NFL Superpro knows that he didn't do that. There you go.
So he's trying to find the state's evidence. Well, spoiler alert, the guy who's turning state's evidence, ends up getting shot and killed by a assassin. An assassin whose only characteristic through the entire book just seems to be to curse as much as possible. And it's one of those where they do the symbols and
squiggles and all that.
So after a while, I just quit reading because everything he had squiggles in it. Not because I'm prudish at all, but just because usually when they do that, the dialogue that's there is just so weak that I could just skip it and be like, all right, I know his shtick. He just curses and everything.
He just curses.
But it's to the point where not one, but two really weird sayings are brought up that I noticed. One is from Superpro himself while he's fighting this, guy. And he goes, "Oh, looks like somebody should clean out your mouth. Or it looks like I'm gonna have to clean out your mouth." And then the next panel it says, "With my fist."
Ooh, good God.
Spider-Man says it eventually too, but
that's worse than squiggles and stuff for cursing.
He's like, yeah, exactly. Spider-Man also uses the same joke and says with web. So he's gonna get his mouth washed out with web.
Which one would you prefer?
Web
fist or web?
Web sounds like it could be slightly something else.
Yeah.
So I
innuendo.
Guess fist. Yeah.
Sure. Please clean up my mouth with your fist.
Yeah. So Spider-Man's in this in issue number 1 here of Superpro.
Oh wow.
Well they don't fight crime together at all.
He's a big Jets fan.
There's basically just one moment where they like share glances and they each know somehow that the other one is the other hero. But then like that's it. That's the only they have. Apparently Captain America makes an appearance in the series and number 8 as well. I can only imagine how bad it is. Yeah, it's a 12-issue series.
Wolf.
They made it a whole year.
Wow.
13 issues counting the special only covered. But
my goodness.
91 to 92. This thing made a whole year. Basically, in this story, though, I don't know. It is so convoluted and just so bad. He basically goes, and they're able to get the state's evidence to prove, this guy's innocent.
It was written on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. Here's a couple things though that I find super funny about him as a whole. So his partner. Like we talked about Batman and Robin last week, but a lot of superheroes have partners. So who does NFL Superpro have? It's just his cameraman Ken.
Sure.
So Ken is his partner. Doesn't fight crime, but he drives the van around and
uploads things to satellites.
Yeah, it helps him like hack 90s style into computers.
Hacker man.
But then maybe he has like some kind of Superpro vehicle. No, it's a green windowless van. Like a news van.
Yeah, sure.
And he doesn't like fly anywhere.
Eyewitness 25.
Ken comes and picks him up and they drive.
As all good superheroes do. They drive
it's just funny to
me.
me.
A good times
the
van.
Thought of just the cameraman driving and the guy
he's putting on the suit in the back,
Oh man.
Did you see that game?
Yeah, no. It's bad. It's not good.
Any of these crossover sponsored whatever series like this, there's no hope for them.
No, they aren't. And in this, like,
it's just a money grab is all.
Yeah, and we obviously know that it was a money grab, and so even the writer at the time, took advantage of it.
Ticket grab.
The thing that's funny is he only wrote the first 4 issues.
And
then somebody else came in.
Sure.
Buzz, I can't remember his name right offhand right now, but his first name was Buzz. And wrote 3 issues, but in those 3 issues, he offended the Hopi Americans, Hopi Native Americans.
Nice job, Buzz.
So he was gone after that, and then somebody wrote the last 5 issues.
Wow.
This thing just was not, and again, I could only make it through the first issue, like reading through these.
Yeah.
So he fights. I looked ahead, like he fights some other, like, I guess I don't want to say superhero, but like football themed villains, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's,
Offsides, man.
No. I'm trying to pull it up right now so I can tell you, but there's one guy
hands to the face.
Who was like a kicker.
Yeah.
Who trained himself to become a ninja.
Oh, sure.
Oh, Quick Kick. That's his name.
Well, you're halfway there.
Yeah, so Quick Kick.
You're already a kicker.
Was one of the villains he had to fight.
Sure.
He also, that crime boss whose dealings that were constantly thwarted by Superpro.
If you've ever watched a kicker try to catch up with a guy who is running back a kick, you first word in my mind is ninja.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're so uber talented.
Yeah, he was a field goal kicker turned evil ninja. He was just a number 2. And then also he had another villain named Instant Replay.
Okay.
An assassin with the ability to travel short distances through time. He could go back and replay things. Yeah. So that's NFL Super Pro.
It's wonderful.
It's a hot pile of garbage, but it is worth a check out.
So this was 91 to 92.
91 to 92. I mean, just the...
Yeah.
Here's what's funny is there's a lot of stuff that's about to come out animation-wise that is going to be really good. Batman the Animated Series.
Okay.
The X-Men cartoon, which they're about to re-release. Or I guess redo the series.
They're going to pick it up from where it stopped.
Yeah, which is really cool because I love... But so with so much great stuff about to come out, this was one of the bad things that Marvel just kind of...
So, you know, the NFL and the leagues like that, they try this kind of stuff all the time. Yeah. The current iteration of something weird like this is them showing football games on Nickelodeon. Yes. And sliming people with CGI.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's not real slime. It's,
no, it's just all cartoon crap.
That's the thing, too. Like, even if they waited till the end and had, like, slime that they dropped on, like, that'd be cool.
It would be cool.
I think that you could have, like,
but this made up crap is just ridiculous. Like, kids are not clamoring to watch football. No. You know? I mean, people that like football like football. I don't know that you're building a new fan base here by making lightning bolts come out of their fingers when they make a touchdown.
SpongeBob's the field goal net.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. Doesn't it kind of seem weird? And maybe I'm wrong, but I can't think of anything else where, like, they obviously tried so hard to appeal to such a young demographic.
Yeah.
That it's just super weird.
It is weird, yeah.
Because it's like, I think that they realize, and I think this is going to be the NFL's problem going forward, and that obviously the whole concussion thing is starting to take a toll on, you know, not only because it's not just the kids who don't want to play anymore. Now you have the parents who are like, yeah, maybe you can play something else too.
Right.
And I think that the NFL might be like, I think that they're showing that we need to get ahead of this because this could potentially hurt us a little bit. And I guess their solution is to show games on Nickelodeon. So, hey.
What do we own? How can we use it?
Well, you know, when you're so much above reproach like the NFL is.
Sure.
You can do things like, you know, that. It's not like you've ever done anything wrong whatsoever.
I can't wait until the NFL actually sponsors the Puppy Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you know that's coming.
Oh, yeah. And they'll move it to where it'll play during the halftime of the... Yeah.
Yeah. That's coming from your friends at Purina and the NFL comes Puppy Bowl 23. Sure.
And then they'll also find a way to...
and then they'll put some sort of animated somebody as the halftime of the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be, oh, no, you know what they'll do? They'll just replay the video of that keyboard cat.
Keyboard cat
will come back and play performances in the Puppy Bowl.
And it'd just be Grumpy Cat reruns in the stands. He's I don't like it.
I don't feel like my dislike came out into the reading of the comic, but I'm really not a big fan of the NFL.
Really?
And not like as a, you know, as a whole. Like, I'll watch football still. I usually prefer college football over pro. Sure. But obviously I have a team that I root for, so I'll still watch them and I follow it. But just as an organization.
And screw your team last week, by the way.
You have no... I'm so sorry. Your team is still... just for those...
It's fine.
I guess to explain. No. I'm going to attack you real quick before we get off. Right. So I'm a Houston Texans fan. Mike is a Tennessee Titans fan. and they play in the same division.
Got to play each other twice a year.
Twice a year, once in Houston, once in Tennessee.
Right.
If you want a little more background, technically the Tennessee Titans were the Houston Oilers, and then they moved to Tennessee and
became the Tennessee Oilers for a year.
They were,
which is the stupidest name
it was.
ever.
And then they switched to the Tennessee Titans, and then Houston created its own franchise in 2002. Right. And that's where we are now.
They hate each other.
Even though Tennessee will not let us use the Oilers outfits for some reason, even though we're in Houston and there's no such thing as oil in Tennessee.
Hey, take that back.
Okay. Besides the little bit of oil they have in Tennessee.
Yeah, sure.
Is that better?
Is that not? Where were the Beverly Hillbillies from?
Oh,
because they hit oil, right?
Yeah.
And you want to say it's like Tennessee, Missouri. It's got to be one of those places, right?
Really? No, I thought it was more southern. I thought it was like SEC territory.
SEC territory. Ole Miss.
Oh, but what we were saying about all of that is so my team got their second win of the year against Mike's. And so if you want to talk shit, go ahead. That's fine, Mike. It's not talking shit because your team lost.
It was a super letdown. It was just like to any team. And here's the problem. And I know people don't tune in to hear this, but here's the problem. My team is very good this year.
They are really good,
and they've lost to the Jets and the Texans.
Yeah, my team
is crazy,
really, really bad.
Yeah, the Jets hadn't won a game when we lost to them.
Well, and here's the thing too. It's to that point where, like, obviously, I don't want my team to lose, but now every time they win, it's like, oh, we fall further down in the draft.
Yeah, that's and you know what? As growing up as an Oilers fan, that was always a problem.
Yep,
always. We never got the good guys.
I'm trying to figure out because I don't want to end the episode on a cliffhanger of where Beverly Hillbillies are from. We're going to figure this out for everybody.
I'm going to guess. Let's see. They went to Beverly. But boy, it seems like a long trip.
Oh, are you ready?
Oklahoma?
In the pilot episode, the narrator at one point says, "Let's take them back to their home in the Ozarks and see how this whole thing started."
Oh, okay.
Series creator Paul Henning was, in fact, from Missouri.
Well, that makes sense.
There you go. Yeah, so they're from Missouri.
That makes total sense. And he hit oil with his bloodhound.
Texas tea, that is.
Sure. Yeah. Boy, what a up note we landed on
there
here.
You go. See, we taught you something before we.
Everyone that was ever on the Beverly Hillbillies is dead.
Yeah, everyone?
I think so.
Hold on, let me look that up. We're not done with this episode.
God, no.
Okay, never mind. We'll save that for next week's episode.
We'll save that for Texas Tea, the episode by episode recap of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Would we call it Texas Tea?
I think so. It's a great. You got to either call it that or the cement pond.
Oh, okay. I like that. That'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So that was.
Or you call it like Miss Hathaway's pretty place or something like that. You know?
There we go. There we go.
Miss Hathaway.
It's kind of like
this has been the stupidest episode we've ever done.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, and I can't promise we won't do future ones that are more stupid.
That's true.
I think that you should just take it as enjoy it as it is in this moment.
Thanks, Marvel.
That was NFL Superpro. I might do Kickers Inc. eventually in the future. Obviously, we'll wait a little bit.
Yeah,
probably.
Let's wait till next season.
I might save
NFL season
for the next time. I'm kind of over sports themed already.
There's got to be a basketball one, right?
Well, NFL Superpro does play there's a basketball cover in one of these.
Come on,
there is, and it says NFL Superpro can play b-ball now.
By the way, in the last few weeks, has LeBron James become a supervillain?
Oh my goodness! Can we not talk about how it's just a complete? I don't know what happened.
He's falling apart.
Here's what's so funny to me. Yeah, we're not going to end up closing this episode. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I just want to add this part.
It's close.
Because I always thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. LeBron elbows the guy.
Yeah.
And the whole suspension, not suspension, whatever, them both getting one, that's fine. Because Isaiah Stewart was charging.
Sure.
They're both in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because I saw an article the other day about the 20-year-old sophomore who's not afraid to stand. I don't care.
No, nobody cares.
I don't care. No offense.
No.
I don't care if you like or dislike LeBron James, the fact at this point is what he's done in his career obviously has him on a certain level.
Sure.
And Isaiah Stewart is nowhere near that. So just being like, oh, he's so cool for either way, they're both, I think that just fighting in general, they can, but I found it funny that the guy who elbowed the guy got 1 game, but the guy who got hit with the elbow and bleeding all down his face got 2. I don't know why. I always find that funny where it's like, yeah, he did hit you, but maybe you shouldn't have gone after him in the first place.
So for the first time in his career, he was suspended a game. Yep. Then he calls for 2 fans on the sidelines to be ejected. Then,
which is a common, I don't want to say a common occurrence, but I've seen other players do that.
Sure.
I've seen Russell Westbrook before when he was in Oklahoma City do that.
And then third, he makes obscene gestures after a 3. Did you see that one?
I read about it, but what was the obscene gesture?
So they called it the, I'm going to say the wrong player, but I think he called it like the Sam Perkins or something. But it's where he grabs his crotch and just like ambles down the court like he's got the biggest balls on the court.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not great for a 40-year-old man or whatever.
No, but at the same time, like...
It was pretty egregious.
But is LeBron the only one doing it?
I'm not here to... I've seen a lot of them hold up the 3 sign. I've seen a lot of them do the phone call thing.
A lot of people have been taking the good old Wesley Matthews, the arrow out of the quiver. I've noticed a lot more.
Yeah, but very few of them grab their
that is true,
and run down the court.
That is true.
Especially ones that have won championships.
Well,
just seems...
It is so funny that
I just think it's crazy that it's happened within the last week and a half.
Because it's you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's exactly right.
LeBron could have exited, and I'm not saying like obviously if LeBron feels like he has enough left in the tank, that's his decision to keep playing or not.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I think LeBron might have hit that point now of where everybody else kind of, I don't want to say has moved on to the next person, but like remember when Jordan came back for the Wizards?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't the same.
I went to see Jordan play with the Wizards.
It wasn't the same Jordan.
No.
And it
was the Wizards.
It was the Wizards. I don't think it's to that point yet, but it does seem like, I don't know. This is a different, I think that this is a frustrated LeBron because they have everything to make something work and they can't do it.
They have all the evil players that have ever played in the NBA in LA. At this point, they got pretty much. They got a lot of them. Evil. They got a lot. It's either there or Brooklyn. One of
that. Okay.
Everybody that's a current NBA villain lays there.
I dislike Brooklyn the most if we're trying to find a team, just because I'm a Rockets fan. So James Harden.
I'm not allowed to like you either because you're a Rockets fan.
Why?
Because I'm a Spurs fan. I mean, we have to play each other every year. Also,
but Rockets and Spurs fans, I feel like it's different between us than it is like between Mavericks fans.
Yeah.
Mavericks fans are a different beast when it comes to Texas back. Yeah, see? So I feel like even though there might be a little bit, we can both come together and dislike Mavericks fans.
The Mavericks, they're one of the only teams that puts fat guys up on the rafters and just has them dance.
They do.
Yeah, it's
I guess
stupidest thing.
Well, like inclusion, that's nice.
Sure.
That's why I never watched 90210 because there was no fat people on it. So I so would have watched it if I could see people like me on the show.
Sure.
So
just hanging out at the beach.
Yeah, because that's what I do.
Hey,
all
Brandon.
the time. Brandon,
grab me another cola.
We talk about the memorabilia that was burnt in NFL Superpro.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say big, but I enjoy like collecting like baseball cards and stuff. I always have kind of, or just other little pieces of memorabilia and stuff. But I like go through and see like what they release. There's releases some of the companies have of like artists and actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they're like cards of celebrities and they still sign and stuff. And I watched somebody open a pack of it the other day, just be like, oh, I wonder who's in it. Cause that kind of seems cool. And the first card that they got was Brian Austin Green.
Oh no.
And I was like, if I bought like, $40 for that and the first thing is Brian Austin Green, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. I'm throwing it in the sewer.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. So we'll just close it out. That was Superpro.
Wow. NFL Superpro. May you live forever.
He's the best. There might have been other series with the NBA and MLB, but I didn't look into it because I can only imagine it's just going to be as awful.
It's going to be terrible. Sure.
But hey, just remember, don't curse or he'll wash your mouth out with his fist. So that is the general consensus, I guess the lesson we learned from our Superpro issue.
It was great, man. I would go as far as to say it was a touchdown.
I didn't get into that part of it, but just be prepared for so many puns and so much of his,
I would imagine.
It's just like Spider-Man, but all he can do is make football puns.
Right.
When it comes to that stuff.
Right.
So it's like, oh, that's a touchdown. It's like, oh, a fan wants my autograph. Like when people, it is so bad.
Two bad guys running away. Looks like it's time for a 2-point conversion.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. That silly stuff. So go ahead and read that if you want your brain to explode. NFL Superpro. You can find us on Instagram, Bros, Foes, Heroes, or shoot us an email, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com. I promise next week not to do anything that has been marketed by a sports league. I can at least make that promise.
All right.
I think it's probably about time I find us a good villain. We haven't had a good villain.
I love a good stupid villain.
Good stupid villain.
Yeah, anything with tenure.
Anything with tenure. Anything that gets its power from cocaine. I'm trying to think of some of our best villains.
Sure. Anything that just learns to fly on its own.
Yeah, but he was a hero, though.
That's true.
We did have that AIDS vampire. I forgot about the hemoglobin. Hemogoblin.
Hemogoblin. Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, this was great, man. I appreciate all your research, as always.
Thank you, and I hope that you all enjoyed listening to it as well. Until next time, this is Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach. It's been Mike. Stay safe, everyone.
Got it.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.